Temborski from Aggressive Realty. We're going to talk today on several different items. We're going to talk about buying, we're going to talk about selling, we're going to talk about the interest rates today. The interest rates, where they're at, I'm going to give you a comparison and kind of show you what's the difference. We're going to talk about Aggressive Realty being named #1 real estate company for the 4th year in a row in our Hazleton area. It was a people's choice, it was a voting, and I just want to thank the people for voting for us and for doing a good job. Our people do a good job. Our people are all local, and you're supporting each and every one of them. At Aggressive Realty, everybody there is like family. Everybody helps each other. That's why we have the continuity and consistency we do. To be best real estate company for 4 years means you have to do something. You have to do something right. We're complimenting services and doing what it takes. Yes, are we human? Is there occasional mistake? Of course, everybody is. But at our place, we kind of help each other, we kind of work together. We have up to, I believe, 17 agents right now, and everybody is local. Everybody is from the area. I show all their pictures. I promote my agents. My agents are out there to be around, family and friends all the time. It's very important to promote them. You got to know who you're dealing with. You got to know who you're trusting. You only have a short period of time to do that. Aggressive Realty does work together. If you have a problem or there is an issue, call me. Don't hesitate. 570-788-8500. If you call me and you have a problem, we'll get it worked out. If you have something going on, just let's say hypothetically you just have a question. I'm here to answer your question. I'm here to do what it takes to let you know what to do and what not to do. I can give you suggestions. A lot of times I will be forward with you and give you some constructive ideas. Please don't hesitate. It's very important that you call Aggressive Realty to list your home or sell your home. Even if you're thinking of it, doesn't hurt to get us out there. Doesn't cost nothing to get an idea. One of the misconceptions right now is everybody says, oh, my neighbor across the street got this for their house. My neighbor across the street. A lot of it's not true, and if it is, it's public information. It can be searched. It can be looked at. Okay, all deed closings are public information. Please, when you go out there and you think about what you want for your home and what you hear your neighbor wants for your home, call us. Every region has a different price. What I normally say is, it's just like an appraisal. An appraisal is very simple. An appraisal is done with a 6-month period in a 1-mile radius. Has to be a comparable home. The home has to be almost the same or comparable. And then there's add-ons. Whether you have hardwood floors, whether you have special lighting, whether you have air conditioning, no air conditioning, central air conditioning, split air conditioning. Everything is an add-on. Garage, 2-car garage, all different numbers. So nothing's cut and dry. Everything has to be looked at. It takes about a 15-minute walkthrough. Okay, take a look at the house, see what's there, make some notes, measure the outside for your square footage, and then we take a look at it and do what's called a comparable market analysis based upon any other home in the area that's sold. Some people will give you a high number. It's only human habit. I know. I just talked about one yesterday. We went out and gave a price on a home down the valley, and we told them approximately $239,000. Well, what happened was another realtor went and gave a price of $265,000. I don't blame you. Human habit says if you can get me more money, that's what I want. Well, but you see, you got to realize one thing. If you're going to be honest, you go out there and tell them the truth. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes it's grand. But example, when the house went down and the appraisal takes place, which is usually about 2 to 3 weeks before closing, what happened was the appraisal came in at $234,000. Well, at $234,000, you have a choice. You could lower your price just because somebody offered you that $260,000. The bank will only lend you money. It's called LTV, loan to value. When you have loan to value, that's it. Bank's going to lend them 96.5% if it's FHA, or 80% if it's a conventional loan. That's it. They can't make up the difference. You could turn around and you could do what you want, but you got to either bring that price down, or else the bank will not lend any more money on it than what it's appraised for. So when you go out there, don't always just listen to what somebody says, because again, it is human habit. You want 250,000 and I walk in there and I tell you 300,000. Well, you're going to think, wow, that guy's pretty good. The other guy told me 250,000. Do your homework. Ask questions. Ask to see why my house only brings this. Ask them for examples. Don't be afraid. As you know, in life, it is much harder than what it is. Nothing comes easy. You get nothing for nothing. But as I said, when you look at some things, like example, this is a newspaper article that came out last week. Okay? Here is our agency, Aggressive Realty, 4 years in a row, the best real estate company in the area. Anybody could put words to it. Call them, see what you have, see what you got, and I'm there to make it work. My agents are there. We have an agent on the floor every day. Don't hesitate to call 788-8500. Come out, we'll give you some ideas, we'll give you a listing, we'll give you a number. At that time, you make a decision what you'd like. It's a 6-month listing normally. Same thing, watch your rates. I see some people going up their rates. Our rates have stayed the same. Normally, 6% on a house. We do a lot of commercial, a ton of commercial work. Businesses, I've sold businesses, I've sold restaurants, bars, electrical companies. Sometimes we sell a company off the books and we'll sell the real estate as brick and mortar. My name is Ken Temborski. I'm here to help you. Give me a call. Again, I'm Ken Temborski. I'm the owner and broker of Aggressive Realty. This is the Aggressive Realty Show. I want to talk this segment on basically what's going on with the market, what's going on in the interest rates. Interest rates have gone up severely. I'm worried that next month you're going to see another 1%. I think it's November 1st and 2nd, the Feds meet. You're going to see that go up another 1. Right now, the average house interest rate is 7%. 7% is quite different than what it was 6 months ago, 8 months ago. You're talking 3.5% less than a year ago. The difference in that, just so you have an idea, a $100,000 home, example, if you're borrowing, at 3% on a 30-year amortization is $421.60. When you do that and you go buy a home today, which is less than a year later, a $100,000 home at 7% is $665.30. It's a difference of about $240 something. Now don't forget, when you do that, you also have to take the taxes, divide them by 12, add 1/12 into your mortgage, into that, whether it's the $665, which it is today. Turn around and take the insurance, which you need insurance. Insurance you divide by 12 and add that in also. So what turns out to be a mortgage of, let's say, $665 turns into probably around $900. It's very important that you go out and shop your numbers. Right now, you know, there isn't much flexibility between banks, mortgage companies, and so forth. You also need 5% down. I'm sorry, 5% closing costs. I usually average it back because under most loans, you have to escrow your taxes, escrow your insurance. It's not easy. It's much harder today for the first homeowner to buy a home. Very good to work with a company that you can work with and they can watch it and they can put you on an automatic system that you'll get every listing that comes up. It's very important. A house should work for you. you shouldn't work for a house. That is part of our slogan that you have to do. Example, you can't buy a home, you got to try to work within your means. If somebody tells you, and we all need pre-approvals first, you need a pre-approval to put an offer in on a house. Get your pre-approval, and just because that pre-approval says you're qualified for $200,000, don't mean you should spend $200,000. One of the misconceptions is people run out and do that. Well, a lot of times somebody gets hurt, somebody gets sick, somebody has a baby. When that happens, your income adjusts. You have to be able to afford what you're paying. It doesn't change. You agreed to a 30-year note. You have to pay that note. What I'm seeing is a lot of people out there. Sometimes I go into a home, and I go through the home and I say, "Boy, a beautiful home you have. Did you start moving?" And they say, "No, we couldn't afford to buy furniture for that room." I think, oh my God, that is like, you need to still be able to do vacations. You still need to be able to do stuff with your children. You still need to be able to do date night with your wife or a husband. It's very important to buy a home that you can afford. Yes, we all want the best, but sometimes you got to grow to the best. Interest rates being at 7%, possibly going to be 8% next month, makes it very hard. It's going to take time to get used to. Back in the 90s and 80s, you've seen 18% as a mortgage rate. So it's not unheard of. It's just terrible. It's going to be this way for a little while. We see houses already starting to reduce. There's not a lot of houses on the market. So what you're seeing is somebody, if it sits more, the average time on the market last year was 18 days. Can you imagine 18 days and your house was sold? It does take 45 days to close. By the time they do the search, by the time they do bank financing, get everything in order, it's about 45 days from the time you have a signed contract consummated by both parties. So it's very important. Take your time. Pick a realtor that you can work with. Pick a realtor that's going to worry about your financial interests as much as selling it. If they have, I don't sell a home unless I buy a home. I don't spend your money unless I would spend my money. I'm not out there just to push a house. My agents aren't out there just to sell you a house. They're out there to look at the long term. Rule of thumb is 10 people tell 10 people. If you like the service we provide, you tell somebody. Or somebody will tell 10 people. It's very important that you do that. It's very important, no matter what you advertise and what you do, you still got to have the people to support that. By giving referrals helps. So by doing a good job in the beginning, makes it work. There's a lot of people I've sold homes to them and their children. And then I got, unfortunately, even sold their parents' house when something went wrong. Sometimes it's unbelievable what you see out in the market. I'm here to make it work. My agents are here to make it work. When you sell your home or list your home, it's just extremely important to be comfortable. Don't hesitate. I tell everybody, call me. A lot of times I can't get right back to you because if I'm sitting in there, I'm not doing my job. Give a call to the office, leave a message for me to call you back. They might ask you a little bit what it's about so I can have an idea. I will call you back next day and I will get back to you. It could be the question, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever the question is, I will give you an opinion, I will suggest, and we'll go from there. Like, it's very important that you have that comfortability. You have to, whether you're buying or selling, you have to have a comfort zone. It is so important that you're able to ask questions, even if you ask the same question 10 times, I don't care. My agents are there to help you. It's not only about me, about my agents. My agents are very dedicated. We make appointments anytime during the day, anytime at night. We try to do more on Saturdays, don't hesitate. Give a call, leave a message if it's at night when you get home from work. I understand. But as the housing market's going, and we're seeing less homes on the market because our population has grown. A lot of people have come from the city to get out of the city, COVID example. As you see in life, it isn't easy. So when we come back to the next segment, we're going to talk a little bit about saving and go from there. I'm Ken Temborski, Aggressive Realty, broker, owner, and here to work for you. This is Ken Temborski from Aggressive Realty. Again, we're here today to talk about buying, selling, what's going on in the world today with interest rates, what you got to do, what you got to do. We're going to talk a little bit about saving today. My last segment today was about saving. You know, I have a very good friend who goes around and he talks to people and he said, "Can you tell me, you know, what do you think you're going to need when you retire?" And they're 30, 40 years old and they say, "Well, I don't know." And he said, "Well, let me ask you a question. What do you need per month to live?" And again, they don't know. So the biggest question is, he says, "Let me ask you a question. What do you have saved?" And they say, "Nothing." He says, "What do you mean nothing? Like, what do you plan on retiring with?" And they say, 8 out of 10 of them say their parents' inheritance, which is sad. Everybody's got to start saving. You got to start saving at a young age. When you're ready to buy your house, you're ready to rent your house, you should have anywhere from 4 to 6 months of your bills put aside, meaning your mortgage, your rent, your general bills. God forbid something happened to you. God forbid you broke your leg and you're out of work for 6 to 8 weeks. Let's say, God forbid, you have a problem comes up with your health. Let's say something happens to one of your family members and you got to take some time off to spend with them while they're sick. No matter what you do in life, you got to take, I don't care if it's $5, $10. I remember when I first started, when I got married, we had the envelope system. I had an envelope that you put $15 in. You had an envelope that you put $20 in. In order to pay a mortgage or in order to pay your taxes and pay your insurances, you have to save. Whether you put aside $5, $10, anything you can possibly put aside, it compounds. It works. It works for you. Okay? The younger age makes it work. As long as you can put it away at a younger age, and I'm not talking about lots and lots of money, but to buy that house today, under FHA, which will be very popular again, because it's 3.5% down. Yes, you can buy a house at 3.5% down. It's an FHA loan. That means the bank will lend 96.5%. So again, let's do some numbers. On a $100,000 home, the bank will lend you $96,500 towards that home. You are going to need closing costs. Closing costs range, and I tell everybody, between 5 and 6%. And you say, wow, that's a lot. You have title insurance, you have the search, you have the realtor. The realtor basically comes off of the seller. Okay, so it's not the buyer, but the seller. But when you get into that, the seller has to pay 3 things. He pays the realtor, he pays the 1% transfer, and he pays the title, a deed, I'm sorry. The deed is prepared by the seller. The buyer will have title insurance. He could have PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. In Pennsylvania is required. That protects the loan. He'll pay his other 1% because it's split, 2% transfer for the state of Pennsylvania. So 1%. Then he usually has to escrow 1 year of taxes, 1 year of insurance, so that it automatically is in an account. So I always say look at 5 to 6% on your closing costs. So now when you go buy that home, as we're getting into this more, you're going to have to ask, when you get pre-approved, you have to ask, what is seller's assist? Seller's assist basically comes back to, it helps you with your closing costs. Certain loans, there's a conventional loan, There's a PHFA loan. There's an FHA loan. There's a USDA loan, which I like. USDA is a rural area loan, and it comes from the government that you get a fairly good rate, and at the same time, it helps you with PMI, your private mortgage insurance. It's very important to again, look at the different loan options that are available to you. There's not many first-time homeowner programs. There's some little ones out there, but nothing big. It's very important to look at what loan you're getting. Look at what you're going to need to put down. Look at what savings you got put aside. Now, can you buy a home and not have the full down payment? No. You can buy a home, and if you have a parent or a family member, they can gift you the money. And that's called a gift letter. It's a letter that they say that they gave you the money, it's a gift, and you don't need to repay it. So there are ways to help you. The banks are here to help you. One of the banks that I deal with a lot is FNCB. They do help. To get you pre-approved, we'll find out. You can usually either get 3% or 6% seller's assist, depending on the loan and your credit and so forth. It takes a 640 to buy a house today. With some medical bills, a 620 on your credit score, which is your VICA score. Okay? You just don't go out and get one credit score. It's a combination of credit scores. It's 3 different companies and they cost average it. You got to look at trade lines. Make sure you have whether it's an electric bill, a phone bill, something. You got to have a couple trade lines to get a credit score. Years ago, people dealt with cash only. Yes, that helps. That's nice, but it don't work to borrow money. You need to have a trade line. You need to have 3 trade lines to establish a credit score. Getting a credit card is very important, but credit card today, the national average is 22%. You'll never pay that credit card off. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just too much to make minimum payments. Get a credit card, pay half of it, and then pay the other half off. Get used to paying it right off, and you don't have the interest. But what you're doing is you're increasing your VICA score. By showing them that you can pay your bills will grow, your bills will be taken care of, which makes your VICA score grow. It's so important to do that. So save a little money, whatever you can. Start at a younger age so that it compounds and grows. If you have to, you go to your parents and ask them to help you, or a brother or sister. Buy that home. There's not many homes out there. I believe I just seen a statistic. We're 4 million homes short in the United States for people. How do you let all these people in? They have to live somewhere. Rents are growing up. Rents in the Hazleton area, a 2-bedroom place is anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200. That is so hard to concept. It's so hard to conceive. I just can't believe it. Yes, we have a lot of rentals, but the average person, or the person whose husband passes away, their Social Security gets cut in half. Oil bills. I got oil the other day for one of the rentals. It was $5.55 a gallon. Can you imagine what that costs for the year to heat? We have to look at that ahead. That's why it's important to save. Put a little money aside, as much as you can. Make a savings a bill. Whether you got to put $10, $15, $20 away a week. Put it away. Put it where you can make some interest, where it compounds. Don't be afraid. You need to buy a house. You're going to need to. A USDA home, you can get away with very little down. You can get away with very little closing cost. But talk to us. Call us. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you got going. Call one of my agents. We will work with you. We will watch the credit scores. We will help you build your credit score. We will get you that house you need. It's going to be tough, but we're here to work for you. We're not just here just to sell everybody a home off the shelf. We're here to help you get that home. And when you get that home, Don't forget, when I bought my first home, I bought a small home. Then I bought another small home and another small. I was able to make a little money and grow into the home. It's very hard today to do that. Be satisfied. Compromise is success. Again, compromise is success. We can't all have 12 bathrooms, 7 bedrooms, and taxes that are very high. Live within your means and enjoy your life. Again, I'm Ken Temborski, Aggressive Realty. I appreciate you and thank you for doing business. Thank you for voting us #1 for 4 years in a row.